Hi everyone, just making this video to alert everyone about the current scams happening and the fraudulent activity happening on our bank accounts. And I particularly want to vent about First National Bank and how they treated me throughout the entire process of being scammed. So to cut the long story short, on Tuesday, the 21st of October, a fraudster gained access into my bank account and managed to move money out of my savings account, my savings pocket, as well as money from my Maximizer account. And by the way, these are accounts that I was advised to create and put money in by FNB employees. One of them being an employee that works at Summit Park, and another one being an employee that called me telephonically to open a Maximizer account because of the funds that were sitting in my personal account. So I've been advised to create these accounts from a safety measure point of view, and I've been told that nobody can access these funds from my account. But on the 21st of October, a fraudster managed to gain access into my FNB profile and managed to make these transactions, moving money from my savings into my private wealth account, and therefore started making purchases off takealot.com, amounts varying from 56,000 Rand or from 29,000 Rand to about 56,000 Rand just off Takealot. Transactions of Salsi for 5,000 Rand, transactions on Mr. D Food for 33,000 Rand, macro included for 9,700 Rand. And what worries me, or what scares me the most, in fact what hurts me, is the fact that I got no OTP on my cell phone number, to confirm these payments. And the reason why I'm saying that is because on the 15th of October, I made a purchase online on Howler for a purchase of tickets where I received an OTP in order for the payment to go through. But for some odd reason, with all these payments that went through on the 21st, I got zero OTP from the FNB team. And I'm also in a position where I think our accounts are being monitored closely by FNB. I mean, there's been multiple times where I've made a couple of transactions and FNB has called me to verify my birth dates, as well as confirming these purchases that I've made. But during this incident, I got no communication, no phone call whatsoever from FNB, which is what concerns me the most. And seeing all these transactions happening, I would immediately assume that FNB would block my account, suspecting fraudulent activity, but none of that was done, which is quite alarming for me. Because I think FNB is a safe bank. I've been with them for 15 years and I've never been compromised in any way, like recently. And when I logged my case with FNB, the first thing, so before logging my case, I got a phone call from the scammer who pretended to be an employee of FNB and really spoke about the frauds currently taking place with FNB and how FNB employees are the ones leaking our personal information to these criminals, or they're selling our numbers or our details to these criminals. And this lady pretended to be this person, and while all these transactions were taking place, I was still questioning myself and still asking, how did this person gain access into my phone? And till this date, I still don't know. And while the scammer was just chatting to me on the phone, asking me to even check my account, and if I've seen all these transactions going off. They pretended to be somebody that works at FNB, and I naturally believed them because I've been called by FNB multiple times before, like opening the Money Maximizer account. So that was a huge red flag. And I don't wish anyone to ever encounter this situation because it's quite terrible. It's quite sad, actually. And Well, you know, and this person at the end of the call, I mean, hours later said to me, listen, I think we've restored everything in your account. There shouldn't be any transactions going off. We'll contact the different merchants to ask them to not distribute the merch that's been purchased online, and to return the money back into your account, into my account, that is. And to end off the call, this person said to me, send yourself a cardless withdrawal to your own personal cell number, and you know, and see if the account is back to normal. And I did exactly that, believing that this person works indeed for FNB. And then I did not receive an OTP, which was a red flag for me. And I remember even thinking to myself, is there something wrong with the network? Where is the OTP? I was frantically looking for this OTP, and no OTP came through. And me knowing how the cardless withdrawal works is, after 30 minutes, if you don't withdraw the money gets returned back into your account. And surprisingly, the money was not returned back into my account. You know, when I woke up the following morning, I realized that this 3,000 Rand was indeed withdrawn from my account. So my question to FNB is, where are my OTPs going? Who is receiving these OTPs? Because when I check my profile, my number's still there. So I'm actually very confused of what's been happening. I then further lodged this with the FNB fraud team. I lodged a case with the FNB fraud team, and the first thing the lady said to me is, FNB would never call you. FNB would never call you for any reason. And I said to her, I'm a bit confused because I've received multiple calls from FNB before. She said, no, that was a fraudster you were talking to. We'd never call you. But how did the lady that set up my Maximizer account contact me? Because it was through a phone call. How many times I've received multiple calls, and I know people around me, close to me, who've also received phone calls from FNB employees, going as far as contacting them using their own cell phones. So I'm quite disturbed by that statement made by the lady who opened my case. Then the investigation officer, who I was then directed to, asked me to reiterate the story, which I did. And in return, she said to me, making it seem like I was negligent, I was being irresponsible, because how do I talk to someone that's not from FNB? You know, she pretty much said that a link was sent to my device, and I opened the link and I inputted my personal information on this link. And I don't usually open links that I don't know of. I don't open links. And it still does not erase the fact that I have not been getting any in contact messages from FNB while the scam is taking place, right? And I now need answers from FNB, and I need this matter to be attended to ASAP. I need answers from FNB. Where have my OTPs been going? Who's receiving my OTPs? And I definitely want my money back. Why have you guys not reached out to these merchants to say, look, there's been fraud happening on this account? Instead, FNB employees are making it seem like I am the one making these purchases myself, and I am making FNB do the dirty work of investigating this case on these transactions when I'm the one making these purchases. If I was making these purchases, I would put in my physical home address for delivery. And I'm not sure what address these scammers have put in, but I need the answers. I need to know what is happening on my account, and I definitely need my money back. FNB has told me that my savings are safe, my savings pocket is safe, and nobody can access it. And nobody can access my Maximizer account either. But tell me why my money was removed from those accounts, transferred into my personal account to be used for online purchases. Who is making these movements? FNB has also made it seem like I'm the one that's transferred these monies from my savings pockets into my personal account, because the reference that the scammer used is me, GJ, which are my initials. So I'm a bit confused at how FNB is making these accusations that I am the one who has made all these transactions and pretended, and here I am pretending to be crying fraud. That's not the truth. And I need answers for FNB, from FNB ASAP, because I'm not happy with their service. I feel like I'm being compromised. My safety is being compromised. My money is being compromised. I need to start questioning and relooking, why am I on FNB? FNB, I need answers, and I need you to respond to me as soon as possible, because I'm not happy with this.